Kingdom Hearts 1. The very first one. What can I say? I mean, the review will tell you, obviously. But, memory-wise, what can I really say about the game? Well, it actually wasn't my first Kingdom Hearts game. It was my third Kingdom Hearts game. Back in 2003 or 2, whenever the game came out, I had a GameCube. I didn't have a PlayStation 2, but I wanted the game so bad. Only way I was able to play the game in any form was when I went to the doctor's, and they had a little TV and a PS2 setup with Kingdom Hearts there. No save files, no memory cards, so whenever you played the game, you had to start from the very beginning. So I remember the start of the game fondly and always saying, I will get this game one day. But I didn't get it first. I actually got Kingdom Hearts 2 first, because when I went to pick up PS2 in 2006, the game was there, and I said, I don't see KH1, but I will get Kingdom Hearts 2. Obviously, I was confused, but I had a great time with the game. A year later, I picked up Chain of Memories for the Game Boy Advance instead of going to get KH1. So I actually played the games backwards. I had no idea what was going on in that game, but I had a good time. And then, a couple months after that, I finally picked up on Kingdom Hearts 1. Had a great time, enjoyed myself a lot. But, does that hold up to this day? Do I still enjoy it in the year 2018? Yeah, but I'll explain why in the review. So, let's get into it. Kingdom Hearts Final Mix starts off on Destiny Island after Sora has a strange dream, where he fights for his life while listening to the voice of a stranger. Sora wakes up to his friends Riku and Kairi planning to leave the island together to see new worlds, and Riku thinks their small island can't be the only world that exists. The next day, Island is attacked by the Heartless, creatures from Sora's dream. Sora, looking for his friends, sees Riku accepting the darkness, telling Sora, the door is finally open, we can leave. Sora tries to reach for him, but he can't. Instead, he gains the Keyblade, the blade to fight the shadows in the darkness. With Riku gone, Sora goes to find Kairi, but as he finds her, she disappears right in his arms. After fighting a mob of Heartless and his dark side, Destiny Island is consumed, and Sora along with it. Meanwhile, Donald Duck and Goofy are told by a letter from King Mickey Mouse, the living legend, to go off and find the key so that they can save the world from plunging into the darkness. They set off with Chip and Dale to go and find the key. Sora ends up in Traverse Town, a new world where he meets Sid, Aerith, and Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII, along with Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, learning about the Keyblade and what it is, and why the Heartless attack Sora. While running around Traverse Town, he meets Donald and Goofy. They see that he has the key that they need to save the world and look for King Mickey. They team up and go on the grand adventure that is Kingdom Hearts. The story of Kingdom Hearts is very simple. Sora goes from world to world, defeating the Heartless, and stopping Disney villains while trying to find his friends. The build up to the main plot happens in the background, as you go through the Disney worlds. When you get to the final world, Hollow Bastion, the main plot kicks in, that the series would later expand upon. I won't spoil what happens, but I really enjoyed the main plot of this game, more than the Disney stuff that was happening. It reminds me so much of Final Fantasy. Nomura and Kazuhige Nojima, writer of Final Fantasy VII, really did a great job, even with how cheesy the dialogue. That continues throughout the series, and I will never not love it. While Kingdom Hearts' story is not the best that Square has ever put out, I feel that it's really enjoyable, and that the story only gets better from here. Others might not agree, but I find a certain charm in the story of Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts Final Mix is an action RPG with a magic and ability system. While not as deep as something like a character action game, the combat is really fun and engaging. At first, Sora can only swing his blade and use fire. Eventually, you gain more abilities and magic in battle. Abilities like MP Haste, allowing you to get your magic back faster as you hit enemies. And new attacks, like Sonic Blade and Ars Arcanum. Along with magic, the game has summons. Each summon does something differently. When you summon Simba, he has a loud roar attack that damages the enemy. Dumbo has a splash attack where you fly on his back and shoot out water magic. Bambi runs around and gives you a bunch of magic so that you won't run out of it. Every summon has their own abilities and unique skills that you want to utilize, so make sure you try out all of them. Stop! Did you guys know that Bahamut from Final Fantasy was going to be a summon in this game? but he was taken out of the final release. He's not even in the final mix version. I wonder why. I don't think anyone's ever found out, but you can try to summon him on the PlayStation 2 version by using GameShark, Codebreaker, or Action Replay. I forget which one. So yeah, try that out. I don't have footage for it. Back to the video. Man, seriously? Anyways, Goofy and Donald gain their own set of abilities, so you aren't doing all the work. Speaking of Goofy and Donald, they are not your only party members in the game. As you explore different worlds, you get other Disney characters in your party. In Agrabah, you get Aladdin. Tarzan's World, you get Tarzan. And in Halloween Town, you get Jack Skellington, to name a few. You can also set up shortcuts so you don't have to scroll through your menu to select the magic you want, which you will be using a lot, especially on bosses. Onto the world and exploration, each with their own stories connecting to the overall plot, minus maybe Tarzan. Each have their own objectives, different types of Heartless, and treasure to find. Also, while running around the world, you run into trinities. By pressing triangle, you unlock secrets in the world, like treasures, new areas, and the like. Almost forgot to mention that the Keyblades each have their own different skills, buffs, and debuffs. Some will give you increased magic, some will give you increased power, others will decrease magic and decrease power, some will give you things like enhancing critical hits. It makes it so that you won't want to stick to one Keyblade the entire game. As you progress, you gain more Keyblades. There are hidden Keyblades too, so make sure you look around for any Keyblade you can find. The combat does have its problems. Like as I mentioned before, it's not as deep as a character action game. It's kinda slow, and the camera is a little too close. And sometimes the enemies don't feel like they stagger when they should. It's not overall clunky, but compared to games that came out around the same time, it could have been a lot better. But despite all this, Kingdom Hearts is still one of my favorite gameplay experiences to this day. Boy, the music is something, let me tell you. I love Yoko Shimomura's music. It's so good. Every world has its own track and battle theme, and they are each so damn good. I'll give you a few examples of my favorite tracks in the game. There are so many other good ones. This OST really doesn't hold back. The game has really good sound effects, from the hitting of the Heartless with the Keyblade to the sound of the Heartless teleporting in. Everything sounds nice and is pleasant on the ears. Only sound that isn't nice on the ears is when your health is low and you get this really loud and annoying sound that is used in every game. It doesn't leave, and it's always best to heal as quick as you can so you can get the sound away from you. Next is voice acting. Not really good for Sora and Kairi. I still found it enjoyable to listen to every playthrough. Everyone else is pretty good though. The Disney characters, Riku, Ansem, they're all pretty damn good. The Final Fantasy characters are alright. Some of them could be better. Cloud VA isn't really that good, but I thought, he was alright. Sephiroth is the worst though. Sephiroth's VA isn't even trying, but it's okay, I guess, because you only fight him. You don't really have him in cutscenes. This was before he would get a permanent voice actor during Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. So overall, the voice acting isn't that great, and it doesn't really improve until 2, especially with Sora, where Haley Joel Osment gets really into character. But I thought it was fine in this game. When it was on the PlayStation 2, I thought the game looked pretty good. On the HD remixes though, I think they really improved the visuals as they should with an HD remix. Everything looks appealing minus the times they use the flat face textures for people in conversations. It's really jarring, and I think they should have removed that and made every conversation face the really good models, or they could have just hit the camera away from it in the HD versions, but I assume that would have been really hard, so I can't really fault them for that. It's just a thing of the past that got carried over and doesn't look good today. All the Heartless models look nice, very distinct. Each world has their own distinct look, and I'm very glad they decided to not go with anything that will look too similar to each other. Hercules, I feel, could have been better. It's really just yellowy rock textures everywhere. It's not ugly, but it's very boring. The menus are really well done. The visuals of the series gets much better starting with KH2 and only improves from there. But for the first game, I think it's okay. First, but it doesn't mean I don't feel the nostalgia from 1, especially on every playthrough. Despite its gameplay flaws, very early 2000s voice acting, some jarring cutscene models, I love this game. It's the start of one of my favorite franchises of all time, and I feel it can still hold up today. You guys enjoyed the first episode of this Remembering Kingdom Hearts series. It was a really fun video to make. I had a great time writing it. I had a great time replaying the game again. And I will be continuing the series with Rechain Memories. After that, I'll be watching 358 over 2 days instead of playing through it, since we don't have that much time till KH3, and I want this series to be done by the time KH3 comes out. There's also a video, as you can see up here. My last review was Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, so check that out too. It's a great game. I will probably be doing more on the franchise as I've played through them all within the last year, so I'll probably make videos on those two after Kingdom Hearts is done. But for now, the channel's focused on Kingdom Hearts. So I hope you guys have a great day. Peace from QuazyD Games, everybody.